with that pick coming out. But you sort of look at his team that there's no one to really remove the Corrosive Haze. It is going to be down to him eventually getting either a Manta or a BKB. Or, of course, just don't get seen in the first place. Don't let him cast it on you, you know. Just don't get Corrosive Haze, lol. Yeah, exactly. Right? Silence him. Just silence him. You know, this counters. We'll see how Topson plays against it. But yeah, overall, I mean, do you sort of agree with the panel? Do you prefer Viking GG's lineup, or do you see something that they didn't in OG's?
There's no BKB, but there's no canceller for Black Hole. I always look at that, and every single time when I do see the Enigma pick, there's no way to cancel a BKB Black Hole, unless, you know, of course, the Abyssal Blade on the later stages and stuff like that. But it looks like a pretty solid Enigma game again, where I feel like last time I said this, and it was on OG, they completely smashed the game. He's very comfortable in knowing those type of games, where he knows he's just going to be able to have a free time. If they get to a mid-game, he gets that item, it's just over.
Top lane, OG! They're going to get first blood on Toby there, chasing him down. Strike on him for the win. The trees. Good start to that top lane. Doesn't mean he has the crush level 1 as well. We'll see if that really sort of affects his laning.
It's a double Orb of Venom, by the way. Soxa and No-Tail, they're both and that means another kill.
It's working. They just got themselves a second kill as they run down Aramis. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they are going to be playing on opposite sides of the map. No-Tail's going to be sticking top, supporting mid one, and of course, down on the bottom lane, you can have Soxa playing aggressive. Ready to use that tag team and that chase potential with Seb. Obviously, when there's Malefice, the tag team, you know, these two heroes, you've got to be careful laning against these two because they will run you down. Yeah, even at level 2, it's just constant kill threats every time the tag team is up. So we will see that always be used. For that harassment, we see Stellar, he takes over one of the Eidolons with the Chen, trades it back. We'll actually get the last hit on one of them there. And yeah, we're looking at like OG's draft. I feel like they kind of counterpicked, like I think it was QL mentioning, they knew that this Slardar was going to come. They open up with this Treant, who's a really good counter to it. Living Armor is unbelievably good versus Slardar at all stages. Yeah, I mean, that is a very good point. You might not necessarily have a way of removing it, but just having a clear sort of response to any time Toby tries to make a move on the Riki.
Yeah. He's constantly going to be able to control this lane top as this tree with mid one. That's threatening onto Aramis because he's still level 1. I mean, it's just
so much damage that OG's trading towards them.
It's almost dead even.
He's has got a lot of regen for the lane. He's still got 4 tangos to work through. Aramis himself is out of it. He's just going to get himself another set of tangos out through the courier.
But no salve. That means they can't actually apply any pressure really onto mid one, which they can't even really anyway because it's an Arc Warden versus that Slardar. That's the other thing that they did, right? They see the Slardar pick, they pick a ranged carry in the safe lane. So you can't actually use your, your Bash to the Deep, which is the whole strength of this hero. So OG just setting themselves up for super good lanes.
Yeah, and no real way you can sort of change the lanes to make it better, right, for the Slardar. Bottom's not really much of a better place. You're still going to have to deal with an Enigma farming against you.
Yeah, they can't do any type of lane swaps at all here. Bottom, Soxa, he's looking for this wrap around here. He's got the level 2 as well.
Getting the shard, Seb stepping across. I think got enough damage to find him though. Those Malefice hits. And that's slow from the Orb of Venom. He should be able to run this down. One more hit. Soxa's trying to find it, but Celery he is. Regenning up from that headdress. It isn't enough though. Able to run him down, get themselves another kill. As OG just continue to show that they do have these side lanes that seem to be starting off very strongly.
Yeah, it's the same build again from Seb this time around, just going for this early null. Just the build now because you just get it's just such a good build up. You just get all this mana regen, high int for you to apply pressure in lane. Chad's still farming just fine. Celery is the one who's it's going to be this case. Chen is always going to be able to keep that Spectre up farm.
Yeah, and that's for sure, sort of across all the lanes. Even up top, Toby's still getting the CS. 12 lost hits at the moment on the offlane Slardar, and not too far at all behind that of mid one. Mid lane, Topson and Boom both getting very low. They're popping the Fairy Fires as they try and go for one another. That Tornado is going to do it. It is. Boom, able to get the solo kill onto Topson. Will get himself killed off there for the quick refresh back to base, get his mana and health back up. But obviously getting the XP on that kill. Very nicely done there by Boom.
And Topson also used the salve as he was getting tornadoed, so lost some gold there for himself too. Top.
See another bit of an attempt to fight between the two of them again. It is OG winning out though on this 2v2 as Toby and Aramis have to back up.
Okay, so Notel has gone for the full laning build is what I call it. He actually puts 2 points in Leech Seed. So it's just to literally just secure the lane. If you go for the other type of builds, it's you're playing around either killing or helping your other lanes. This one's just trying to sustain as top. There's a lot of heals that comes out, remember.
There's action going on everywhere. Bottom lane, they're able to take down Celery. Saxa, will he go down in response? He's got the snowball over to the creeps. He's running away from Shad. Shad's trying to chase. He needs one hit. He's got it. He's able to get in and get the kill. Meanwhile, what was going on the top lane, Jan?
Top lane was just Tree getting manned up on, getting turned, bashed, and then arrowed afterwards. He almost healed up through it, but the bash is still just a little bit too much damage.
Side lane's also action. I mean, even in the mid, we had that solo kill from Boom. Already heating up to be quite an explosive game.
Shad's just got the straight Midas queued up because he's got this Headress Chen sitting behind him. He's feeling like he can get away with the greed.
Okay, I mean, it's not going to be too slow at all. His CS is absolutely fine. Top CS at the moment, 24 last hits, 5 minutes in. Some of these bounty runes, he's going to be in a good position to grab that. But Saxa, he's able to time the snowball, make sure that the Viking GG aren't in position to grab that. And as it will be, Aramis only able to get the 1 for Viking GG. So OG with the 3 bounty runes.
Thompson getting a little bit of RNG in his favor there for the tricks of the trade. Getting that last hit. He's beating the Invoker by a little bit there in that mid. He's almost up to level 6. Boom also, about even in experience.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh, another courier snipe here. As Notel's able to get in and take down Toby's courier. We see from mid 1 this is going to be, of course, very fast. Midas 5 minutes and a half in. Midas recipe's on its way out. So he is going to have this Midas rolling very, very early this game.
He's going to be able to Midas the catapult, actually. That's pretty nice.
That's always the dream. That's always the dream. When you rush a Midas.
Yeah.
If you can get it in time for the catapult, then you're a very happy Midas hero. Seb, bottom lane, it's getting to be a bit of a scary place down here for Celery. Any time that the Seb and Sax are on top of him, this Chen will die, especially with Seb hitting the good levels, level 5. I mean, there's points split between it and even getting the point at the Midnight Pulse as well. It's just, with the Shards of the Malefice, you're just going to fall over any time that they go on you.
Yeah, but like Shad's still farming, right? That's the one thing. I'm not like I don't mind these deaths too much. Sure, maybe the 3 of them is a little bit too many, but a couple deaths is okay because Shad's getting this free farm down here.
Now they're going to try and go on to Shad. 5 now. Dagger out and having those 2 points in dispersion, of course, at this stage does mean that Shad himself a much harder target for these 2 to tackle on their own when he's full HP.
Yeah. Celery, yeah. Celery is also doing the same thing that we see Puppy do when he's playing this Chen, is he goes for his mech. He's not full out farming just yet like Puppy does, but yeah, he's just going for a naked mech, no boots, no nothing else. So he can get that a nice early time for his team to be able to match, because I do believe that they have to know this, that OG, they're going to start picking up the pace a lot in this game. Sure, they have an Arc Warden, but they have a Ricky mid. So you know that Thompson's going to look to get very active around the map. They're going to look for an early mech timing on Seb and look to really press the issue.
They're diving in here past the tower. No doubt.
They
Trying to get it
commit,
onto
though.
Toby and Aramis. They've got enough damage on the 2 of them. They're going to look towards the Mirana, but Leap's still available for Aramis, so he's fine. Toby's actually trying to run back in for the setup. He goes back in to get the crush setup for Boom to be here. TP's in, gets the kill on mid one. A fantastic move there from Toby. Very low HP, but turning around knowing that his Invoker would be inbound, and they're able to punish mid one for that dive.
Uh-oh, Celery again, bottom.
Shad is trying his best to help out, but not a lot he can do as a Spectre to keep his Chen safe. So, indeed, it is just a tough lane. You know, this Chen Celery is going to continue to die anytime he comes down here. But definitely, as you said, it may be something that they're not too fussed about, because Shad, 7 minutes, well, 8 minutes in, Midas is on its way out. So you have still managed to get a pretty good timing for this Midas on the Spectre, considering the lane that he was having to lane into.
Yeah. Yeah, he tanked everything. He tanked all the tag teams, right? Like, Celery's like, whatever, I will tank them for you so you can get that early Midas timing, which it all works out. Like, 4 deaths, like we said, though, it's still quite a bit because you're giving a lot to the enemy side. You see now this Tusk, it's level 4.5. Seb also level 6. Oh, actually almost level 7 on the Enigma too. So it does give quite a bit of experience when you do die like that, though. Starts that up as they can pressure this tower pretty easy. And this is something I did look at on OG's draft too, is I'm a little worried about Viking trying to take towers. They're into Arc Warden and Tree and Protector. So if you don't get early tier 1s, early towers, they're going to start getting armored and bubbled nonstop.
Go Toby. Looking for the setup onto No-Tail. They're deep in the trees. Boom. The EMP combo down will claim the life of No-Tail, and Viking themselves able to slowly put some pressure in. Boom will lose his courier to Topson.
He almost got both.
Topson a bit of bonus for the team as he heads around. But yeah, you're seeing it already. Even with that kill up top of the three of them starting off there, they just... the tower is not going to fall anytime soon. Bottom lane, Seb. Chad able to get in there with the help of Celery. And again, Boom making some movements all over the map, making sure that he's getting very involved early on as this Invoker, more so than Topson's been able to at the moment. Topson still sitting around this mid, but Boom, he's all over the place. Bottom lane, have a bit of a setup. Saxa will be able to dodge the EMP with the snowball, but they're going to look to try and chase with the cold snap. Mid one will provide the protective bubble.
Nice bubble.
Saxa can get out of there and will manage to survive.
Ooh, I love that. The bubble is actually both, like 2 times almost, just blocking out some cold snap mini stuns. Looks like Topson's just doing, this is what he does in pubs too, is he's mostly just focused on himself. Get the defusal. Because sure, you can make moves early as a Riki, but once you get defusal, it's a whole new hero. You're gonna get solo kills everywhere, and you're gonna have it at a good time if you farm like this. Aramis.
Try and run, but the snowball chase will be there. That's all of his leaps gone. Shards out to block him off nicely there. Saxa with the control. That was Topson to get the kill. They're going to also move straight over towards mid. Boom's just TP'd in. See if he can do anything about this. It's a little tricky, but he's already used Tornado, so he won't have Tornado for his defensive capabilities.
They have a sentry down too.
Dust as well will connect. Snowball straight away onto the Invoker. Boom. He's going to be healed up by the Hand of God, but he's got nothing else to save himself. Tries to turn with the Cold Snap, but he'll go down. Toby leads him with the Corrosive Haze onto Saxa. He's being kited up for now. Managed to stay under the safety of his tower. Unless they can grab him with the shards, they can. Saxa again. Beautiful shards. Traps Toby. They're in on top of him. Shap will come in with the horn to try and find some kills, but Saxa, he takes them out of the harm's way with the snowball. And we are seeing some lovely stuff. Yeah, absolutely there. Seb dropping Saxa the tip. He is making some, I mean, already in that bottom lane. You see his KDA 3-1 and 6. Saxa certainly the one to pop off so far in this game.
Saxa's just straight carrying the game right now. This whole early game 3K lead is because of what he's been providing for his team, and they're going to look to keep aggressive. And I was mentioning how I'm worried because if they don't start getting some towers, it's going to get to a point where the map's going to start closing really fast. You have Tree, Arc Warden on one side. Viking, they can't be making these mistakes. And their lineup, it's greedy and it's getting punished. And they went for the Midas on the Spectre too. And I'm looking at this Invoker, and I feel like his game is just going to get so... It's already really hard, but it's going to get harder and harder. He's always just jumped on by Riki. Riki's going to have defusal at any time now soon. The Viking, they have to be more grouped up here with their 4 heroes. The Spectre's going to just be going for Midas and farming. They have to be aware to look to fight, but their fight's just not that strong.
I mean, they don't really have team fights sort of outside of the Haunt and the Invoker combo. And as we've seen, that's been very hard to hit. I mean, they do have ways of protecting one another. You know, smoke screens down, living armors out, a bubble's there from mid one, and suddenly Saxa's taking them all out in the snowball. A lot of ways for OG to sort of dance around the team fights and just make it very hard for Viking to ever lock down on anyone fully. We're going to see a bit of an attempt onto Boom, but it is under the tier 2. Topson and Saxa will back off. But this space, Seb putting pressure onto this tier 1 tower mid, it's going to be quite difficult for Viking to do anything to stop this. Boom stepping forward, but Topson just with these movements getting all the information that OG need to mean that Viking, as you say, they've got to play very, very careful. OG always ready to pounce on anyone that's caught out of position.
And they're fragile is the thing, too, especially with like the tag team. Invoker, Chen, like Miranda, these heroes just die in a matter of seconds. Topson's committing.
They're going to try for Boom. It's pretty deep. Does manage to get the Tornado in time, but already the shards are down. Saxa comes in with a punch, but Viking GG, they'll be able to punish this. They turn onto Saxa. Now Toby trying to charge in onto Seb. Seb backing away, fighting them out. Does have a black hole if he wants to try and turn, but there's the full 5 and Viking looking for more. They're over onto No-Tail this time. OG pushing their luck a little too far there. Saxa diving in underneath the tier 2 tower was always going to be a little bit of a risky move, trying to burst Boom whilst he was caught in the smoke screen. Didn't happen. He was still able to get out to the side. And yeah, I mean, classic OG. You know, sometimes they just don't know when to stop.
Very nicely done by Viking, though. This is what we're talking about, how I feel like they have to bring the numbers. They can't be fighting even numbers in most of these situations, even if it's on their side. They have to bring the numbers. Topson, he spotted Celery. He knew he was here.
But there's the sentry down on the low ground, giving them the information. Topson's in trouble. He's able to put the stick charge. Does have the safety of Saxa. Saxa's around to help him. Also popping the tag team to try and ward Viking away.
Look how tanky that Ricky is with the armor. Up to 24 armor when he does have that on him. And yeah, he's still looking to continue the pressure. His team is all around here, though. They know that
Really.
it's all about Chad, right?
Yeah, he's the one that... Oh, Thompson, he'll take that.
Oh, now he might recommit with Soxa here.
Not able to trap him in the cloud, though, so Dagger's still there. If she had the free pathing, and maybe with the micro, they could turn this. Living Armor will keep Saxa safe. Already, the Eidolon's coming in from the side from Seb, giving the information.
Is this the blink? Blink on Slardar. Toby is coming in.
He's chasing. Let's see what they could do here. Looking for Saxa. Saxa's out with the snowball. Dodges the EMP, but the cold snap's down. Toby closes the gap. Saxa. In fact, Toby's got bigger things in his sights. He jumps over towards Seb. The Horn's out as well. He's looking for this Enigma. They've found Saxa. Shad Horn's in on the front lines, just chasing down OG. But Midwan's here, ready to try for the turnaround. The Overgrowth locks down the two of them. Boom and Shad in trouble. Is now the fire from Midwan. It's too much. Takes out the Spectre, turns over towards Aramis. Aramis having to leap away. They're very, very low here. Viking losing another as Boom will fall. Thompson, Seb, and Notel continuing to chase. A jump across over towards Aramis. Aramis trying to hide. Seb's got the control onto Celery with that Malefice. Aramis will be able to leap down into the river and TP away. A crush from Toby in an attempt to keep Seb off. Celery is there, but it's not enough. There's a Spark Wraith down on the map as Midwan cleans up Celery. And sort of in a bit of a repeat scenarios. We saw OG just perform underneath the tier 2 of Viking. This time it was Viking just chasing too far, and underneath that tier 1, Mid-1, he's always going to respond to any sort of action that close to a tower.
Yeah, Toby, he went for the big, he went for chasing for the next target, going for the Enigma. They don't get the arrow connection on the follow-up, but either way, even if they did, I think Notel was in way too good of a positioning there. He just gets the Overgrowth, armors the Enigma, and then it's a Greaves Enigma with living armor on him too. So even chasing that is not easy to kill. So OG, they get it kind of handed to them there from Viking over chasing it.
Shad,
see it again.
He's pushing out alone here. They've got Notel and Sax, so we'll see if these two have enough damage. Shad trying to hold his ground. There's not really much else he could do. He's going to throw out the dagger, try and escape. Shards are out, but of course still with the free pathing, Shad's able to make it away. Only just. He will live.
He almost died
to the safe side of the map by Celery.
Almost died to the two supports. That is not a good sign. And Thompson has, okay, so in the first 16 minutes, they were able to do a decent amount with Ricky. He has the Fusel now.
Oh, good control here, though, for Boom and Aramis. It's not enough, though. Thompson's able to get out to the side. Quick jump. Toby's able to get in with the crush, but it's not enough. Thompson will live. Sep comes in with the TP, pops the Greaves. Thompson's ready to turn and fight back. Jumps in onto Toby. Toby goes down. Shards out, won't clip on the Celery. But we're seeing now that they just couldn't kill Thompson. As you said, this living armor just making all the difference. They don't have enough physical damage to bring down a relatively low HP hero like the Ricky, just due to the high armor countering that corrosive haze debuff.
He's at 30 armor when he has it on him right now. 30, and now Diffusel's finished, so the aggression, it's gonna build up even faster. They're gonna just straight commit into every single fight now on OG.
There we go, Snowball. Straight over towards Boom. Malefice control onto Aramis. Boom goes down. Aramis in trouble as well. Seb thinking about the black hole, but won't drop it. There's Aramis, he's out with a leap. He'll live. But we'll continue to see exactly what you said from Viking. Boom's game as the Invoker, it's going to just fall further and further behind with the lack of action that Viking GG are able to get out on top of. It's only this Spectre that's able to hold them in the game. And now Toby wants more. He's been caught here, jumping forward, but they've got the crush. He's backing away, Shards out. Little deep here from OG. See what they can do. Dust is out onto Toby. Mid-1 killing him off with the Tempest double. Is there enough damage? He needs a
Is he going to get him?
He's not going to quite have the damage. Hand of God comes out to keep him alive. Toby will be able to back away, and OG also retreating. Ready to wait on sort of their next items. They're getting pretty close. Seb, very, very close to having the Blink Dagger. A few hundred gold away from it.
Thompson's still hunting. He's Aramis and Celery.
Made a jump straight away onto the Chen. Boom, able to push him back with the Deafening Blast. Does disarm him for now. Cold Snap out as well, causing a little bit of an issue for Thompson. Toby is in with the two-man crush. They have any further control. Thompson's been dusted, but there's the backup from OG. They're moving in, chasing down Toby too, as they'll both fall. OG just able to make the easier movements, and just with the items and their lineup, it just feels like Viking don't have the right heroes to respond with. It's very hard for them playing from behind.
It's really feeling just way too greedy. Like this Midas too on the Spectre, he doesn't really do a whole lot to commit into it. And during the entirety of it, its mid one is completely unpressured in this game. Just Brown Boots, Mjolnir, Midas. Like sometimes you see the bots finished up maybe in between or something. Nope, just Brown Boots, Mjolnir. He's doing just fine with this. He's farming like a beast.
So heading over towards mid Thompson. He's got Boom in his sights again.
So hard for him to play. Like level 10 Invoker compared to level 13 Ricky.
Oh, they got to be careful now as well. Seb's got his blink coming out, also picks up an invis rune. Could be a setup for a big black hole. Already, Aramis goes down, jump over towards Shad. Shad is the man that they've got to protect. They've got to keep the Spectre safe, but Seb, he drops down the black hole.
It's on the
they
high
need to
ground,
put a
though.
stop to it. Toby's trying to get in, and Shad, he will be saved. Toby looking over towards Seb. The bash controls there, over to the side. They're still trying to finish off Shad. Thompson, he's not got enough damage, and Aramis, he's got the timing. The arrow connects into the clumsy net. Thompson is locked down. Viking, they'll be able to save Shad. And an excellent buyback there from Aramis. Did mean he was around to offer that arrow up and guarantee the big kill onto Thompson. They'll take down 3. They're immediately going to move over to OG's half of the map, see if they can find mid one.
Might just be able to find No-Tail instead here.
There you go, catching him in the lane. Viking, a solid punch back there, despite being 7k down.
Yeah, I actually think that Seb held his black hole for a second, right? And then the Spectre got on the high ground, so when he black holed, Ricky's not able to hit him, and his backup got there in time. Now Vikings, they're back on the aggression here, and they have Haunt up available too. And it's like Chad's gonna go heal.
Incredibly quickly, as soon as Seb's back in the game, over towards this top tower, they're diving it. He is tanky, but is he tanky enough? Tornado comes out, the 2 of them. Chad's got the horn. Viking, they'll find Seb. Now over towards mid one they go. The arrow connects again.
Oh my
Aramis
God.
with these connections. I mean, they're doing it. They're down 7k now, only down 5k. But they're making a solid recovery here. Getting Shad involved in the action too. You know, with the Manta done, he is now relatively safe. You know, he can get away if OG make a jump on him. They're going to look for the Roshan with Corrosive Haze. He should be able to do this pretty reliably. OG,
so
they've only got
fast.
3 up. They can't contest this at all. This is going to be a free Aegis for Viking.
Wow, the speed that they just played there completely caught OG off guard. They were not ready for them to just keep making those aggressive moves. Very nicely done.
Excellent plays here from Viking. I mean, just the way that, the way that you can feel that they're not scared at all. They find some sort of action, they immediately just start playing on OG's half of the map in their jungle. And as we saw that, just something that OG, they weren't ready for. You know, you get the jump on No-Tail, you kill him off, and then Seb and mid one, they're coming back into the game, going up to that tier 2 tower. Viking's still there, and they get those 2 huge kills.
And it was like, I was just mentioning how farmed mid one is, so yeah, absolutely huge kills as they get a big bounty for bringing him down. 432 for killing mid one. Not able to get a tower, unfortunately, for them, but a nice series of movements for them. And yeah, Chad, like with an Aegis now, with Manta, he's feeling so much better in this game.
Let's see what OG's next move is going to be. They're definitely going to want to be a little more cautious. I mean, as this game goes later, you sort of see Spectre versus Arc Warden. Does that matchup favor the Spectre due to the ease of getting on top of the Arc, or is there other things you've got to sort of take into account?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does favor just if it's in a vacuum, but then I have to, I was mentioning earlier, the no cancel for BKB Black Hole is always the biggest scare for me when you're going toward the late game, because it's going to get to a point, he will have a BKB, and then maybe if it continues, like refreshers and stuff like that, it gets too hard for you to play against this with no way of actually counterplaying it.
Sure, because there's just all stages of the game, there's going to be that opportunity for Seb to just commit Black Hole, whichever hero's the issue. Probably the Spectre, everything's thrown down on him. Good luck trying to keep him alive.
Yeah, they just BKB Black Hole him with a Midnight Pulse on top of it. Sure, Chen heals can come out. That can maybe be the saving grace.
Something. Dustin here, they found the 2 of them. Dustin, quick clumsy net. They found Thompson, but Thompson's able to jump out to the side. Saxa going in forward, turning over towards Aramis. The ball comes out. Aramis still alive, finally falls. Chad, he's in the middle of it all. He's focusing now mid one. Mid one's going to be saved by the snowball. And there's Seb with the black hole. Controls Shad and Toby as Shad will fall the once. He's got the Aegis ready for round 2, but Toby goes down. There's not going to be much left alive to help Shad here. As Shad, he's surrounded, and this time the black hole does the job. Seb able to catch the big heroes, and they just couldn't quite get Thompson. I mean, it looked like there might have been an opportunity to start this fight with a bang, getting Thompson caught in that dust into clumsy net, but just wasn't enough lockdown to get the kill in time.
Look at that fight recap. I think that says the whole story of the game, really, for me. It really just feels like it's going to be Shad versus 3 heroes that progressively scale. And sure, he scales, but his other his other two cores are just falling off super hard. He did 9,000 of the damage in that fight. A lot of it was dispersion, just because he was getting hit so much, but yeah, that's definitely a concern. If it's just him doing the damage in the fights like that. Sure, he's a Spectre. Sure, it's this king of late game. But three heroes are scaling very nicely on the side of OG.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And you see Mid1's build. He knows the next item he needs to go is a BKB, so that he can just distance himself and just, or just, you know, hold his ground around his team versus that Spectre who commits on him as they find the Invoker.
They're going to go straight up towards top. Shad's got to be careful. They're going to hunt for him in the trees. No tail forcing forward. Shad, he has been spotted, but TP backup's coming in. In fact, they've got a lot of it. Maybe OG again have pushed a little too far. Seb, he's heading over, but no black hole for 90 seconds. There's going to be a buyback from Boom. Viking looking to punish OG as they go in a little too deep. Thompson, he's trying to finish off Celery, but there isn't enough damage. Thompson has to jump out to the side. OG's got to get out of it. The Tornado won't quite clip Mid1, but Toby will. Jumps in with a crush. They're on top of the Arc Ward, and Mid1's trying to run, but he cannot get away from the bashes. As Mid1 goes down, Viking pouncing back here as they'll continue to chase. Look towards Seb. Seb halting Toby with the Malefice.
The prize is mine.
But again, Viking, you know, proving that they really do still pack a punch at this stage of the game if OG make a misplay.
And they caught Mid1 just playing way too far up, but now Toby looks like he's also played a little bit too far forward.
They're going to try and bring down Thompson, but that snowball control, and now Shad, Malefice, he's got to get out of it. So still have the Mountain haunt up in 10 seconds. And still this 6k lead for OG right now. They do hold the advantage, as you said. It's just the fact it's this 3 versus 1 in the core department.
Yeah. And they're just continuing to scale. Just much better. And the thing is, too, is like I look at, it's not just about the 3 cores, too. It's like I look at the supports as well. And I look at what Tusk and what Tree can provide in this game compared to what a Chen and a Mirana. The Mirana feels like it's going to start really falling off. Sure, she still has like her Moonlight Shadow, which is great, but you're not going to ever commit the same stuff as in a team fight as a Tree and a Tusk at this point, the way that these two have been having their game set up. So just it does feel very hard for Viking. They need to have just this chaos starting. That's what seems to be catching OG off guard, is when Viking's able to just make them like split up and catch them off guard. I think they have to just be a little bit crazier. Because if the game continues like this, I just see OG taking it in the later stages, because they just get progressively so much more farm on the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
See coming on the top lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Shad, very close to having his Skadi complete.
That'll be huge. I mean, easy for him to commit onto Mid1, even if he has BKB. Maybe it will work. Maybe just going all in on Shad will work for them.
I mean, in these fights for Shad, when he's coming in with a haunt, how does sort of the priority lie? Who's he going on each time to get rid of?
For the most part, it has to be Mid1. Because it's just going to prevent him from...
the Arc Warden.
Yeah, because then otherwise he has too much freedom in the fights to just beat on everybody else.
Dire are scanning.
Has to just be simultaneous jumps from them. It's just, there's so many scary things. It's just this threat of the black hole is always going to be there still, too.
Tower is under attack.
Keeping the gold steady here, around 8,000. Does mean now all ults are available for both sides.
We'll see there. No, Mid1. Just gonna go for that Silver Edge next. You know, have that break against the Spectre. Also gonna make the life of Shadow pretty rough. It's taking away that dispersion, just does allow you to do so much more damage in the later stages against the Spectre.
Yeah.
And he's making good progress on it as well. Still staying at the top as his Arc Warden. Very solid farm for Mid1 this game.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, it didn't show him as a neutral. Oh, okay, he was switching it. I was like, wait, he had a neutral item, but it disappeared. He was switching in Quiver instead of the Grove Bow for a sec.
And the pressure in the base, OG. Sending that double in down bottom, and it is backed up by everybody. I mean, Mid1's always just a boots to travel away from joining. As OG outside of the base, maybe looking to jump whoever comes forward, but Viking's playing it very careful. Mid1 again, just continuing to slow siege here, bringing the Tempest doubles over. See what Viking can do to get rid of this. Trying to bait here OG with this double. see what sort of commitment they can get, but it won't be too much.
They force everybody back. All of Viking now back in the base, so they know they can back up, farm the map out.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Yeah, it
under
does. I
attack.
mean, this sort of move does mean that mid one is as safe as he'll ever be, unless there's some sort of way that. I mean, is there some sort of move that Viking can do with when you consider their heroes where only a couple of them are guarding and the others are trying to find some sort of setup onto mid one?
It's just so hard because they can't get their waves out now. Like, their heroes don't wave clear that naturally. It's like, just look at them. Like, the Mirana, your Starstorm and stuff like that does, but it's tough for them to just force the waves out and look for these kills. So the whole map is on their side right now. OG's just always dictating the pace. So I feel like it's just too hard for them to do it. It'll be obvious.
Now OG smoking up. I know that Vikings started to leave the base. See who's going to get jumped first here. So they suspect movement deep inside their own jungle. Only Aramis that's made it this far over the map right now. Rest of Viking remaining in their triangle and pushing out top. Boom, trying to get the goal towards his BKB next after the Yule's Orchid. Roshan to respawn.
Topson sees Aramis.
That's straight in with the jump. Malefic's there. Aramis is able to force it to the side, get out of the cloud. That'll keep him fine. An instant re-smoke there from Viking GG, so trying to come back in and catch OG off guard. They'll commit with the Moonlight Shadow. Let's see what sort of set they can get. They've got that great ward down as well, give them all the info, allows them to line up the arrow onto No-Tail. They're going to silence, look to take him out, but Saxa buys time for him. Comes with the snowball to get him out to the side. They've lost the Arc Ward, and now Viking, they can push for more. A buyback from mid one comes out, but Toby committing onto No-Tail. No-Tail getting low. Seb holding the high ground for now, still has Blink and Black Hole ready to use if he finds an opportunity, but Shad, he's just straight in on them, running down over towards Saxa. Saxa again with the defensive snowball will save himself. Toby buys back. They're fully focusing down the Spectre. Do they have the damage? Shad getting low. Malefic stuck in the smoke screen. Shad will fall. Seb comes in on the side. He's got the Black Hole for two more. Catches Aramis. In fact, Toby ends up walking into it. He brought back for this. He's got to run. Thompson's hot on the chase. The final proc for the Miona kills him off as Midbon gets the triple. OG secure the team fight, and with that, the Roshan as well by the looks of it. Thompson, he's still not done. He's looking over for Celery, and Celery just in time, able to make it out with the TP back to base. OG, an incredibly solid fight there with those buybacks.
They started it perfect too. Toby, like you said, they had that ward on the high ground. It literally killed mid one instantly before the fight even starts. But positioning of the fight, the buyback comes in. They're able to reset and go pretty nicely on the side of OG.
Now, of course, yeah, they're having that safety as well. Mid one for sure to be the one that has the Aegis after expending that buyback to ensure that they did win that fight. So once this buyback may be on cooldown, they've got to go through mid one twice to try and get the game in a position where they can punish.
And he's got Silver Edge. He's got it done now after that too, so it's going to be, he's going to have a tool to actually deal with the Spectre in a lot of situations, and they're going to have 2 Raxes up now after that probably, or at least one set.
See Thompson, looking for Aramis, the backup. Viking GG, they are all going to be up in time to do something about the defense around this mid-Rax. We'll just have to see if their defense is going to be strong enough. Now down 17k against OG. See what sort of moves OG wants to make as they continue to hover outside of the base. 45 seconds until Black Hole's back up for Seb.
Anything big on the couriers coming out soon? Nothing yet. BKB is almost finished at the base. They're committing bottom.
He's in. He's going to force a BKB reaction out to Toby.
Oh, he hit 20 on the Ricky, that's why. Okay, he can just jump in and out and be a nuisance. Touchdown Aramis.
This double. I will find it, but again, these sort of jumps into the base. It's just messing with the backlines of Viking. They're going to commit with the horn. Jad jumping out to the side. Arrow won't connect Thompson. He's just jumping in and playing with them all, keeping them separated, so there's no backup for Toby. As Toby tries to commit onto Seb, they will get the kill with the dagger connecting. So taking Seb out, that will probably cause OG to maybe at least be a little more cautious and less relentless with this push. We'll have a smoke from Viking, seeing if they can catch anything else whilst they know that Seb's out of the game for a full minute.
That's so your typical Thompson move there. Your whole team is fighting on one side, meanwhile Thompson is in the enemy base just messing with them so that they can't actually go out and get any more chases and kills. Shad luckily gets out of it all.
Yeah, and this is pretty huge for Shad. He's now got the full BKB.
Okay.
So he's in a much better position to be able to carry this on his own, as we're seeing. All is on Shad to carry his team right now. They
They're
look
looking
to
to get
lead on to
aggressive.
Saxa. Arrow does connect. Tops is going to jump into the back lines. Gets the silence on both Boom and Aramis. Boom forced out to the safety at the side, but he's still taking damage from the Flux. They hold close to him. Keep him safe from that DPS.
Toby's respawning. I think Viking might be able to go
again.
for this.
Thompson just continues to commit. He's in onto Boom. Boom in trouble. He'll self-fuels himself to avoid the jump in, and now Shad, he's turning. He's over on towards Saxon. Shad, he's found one. The arrow again, he connects on the Thompson, but Thompson pops the cheese. He's back on a full life, but look at this damage coming out for the two of them. Thompson had to jump out to the side, but Shad, he's ready to chase. The dagger in onto Thompson. Thompson trying to find Toby. He's up into the side with the trick to the trade, but the cold snap control is there from Boom. Thompson's run down, jump forward from Toby. They take out the Ricky.
Mid was just trying to bail.
If Midbon's got to get out of here, sure he's got the Aegis, but if they kill him the once, they'll get him the twice. And he does not have buyback. And Viking know that. They're going to run straight down mid and force a reaction here from OG as again, Viking pulling out some fantastic plays despite being behind.
Such good positioning from them there on the high ground.
And look,
on the left.
they've got the jump onto Seb.
They might even
Toby
find him.
and Boom. Toby is dying for this. The midnight pulse damage is going to be a little too much. Midbon is going to turn onto Boom. And the two of them maybe just a little bit overestimating their capabilities when it comes to bringing down Seb's Enigma. And with the Greaves of the Lotus, this man is very, very hard to kill and does a hell of a lot of damage with that pulse. And after such a great hold, a great defense, unfortunately for Viking GG, they do throw away two of their core's lives at that attempt.
And now it's a full BKB on Seb. So now that timing that we were talking about where he's just the king it's here. The only next thing that they can do really is wait until the Spectre has Abyssal Blade, right? Like we were talking about, that also is one of the options to be able to cancel the BKB Black Hole. But yeah, this next fight is going to be so much more difficult for Viking. As Seb can really just pick and choose who he goes on there. And they do have the break mechanic too. So mid one, he was able to keep the Aegis during all of it. And he can just sit back and if Seb just decides to Black Hole Spectre, they'll definitely bring him down. So maybe Shad look to save buyback.
Yeah, I think he's got to. You've got to have the buyback launch ready to go.
Yep.
Because absolutely, you can still win the fights with that. As you say, Black Hole, if it is needed to be dropped on you to kill you the once, second time round, you're going to have pretty free reign in the fights with the BKB, other than the overgrowth. Anything that could cause Shad issues, but with BKB and Mante, you should always have an option to play around that. And so far, these late game fights, Shad he's certainly been pulling off the plays. He's always going for the correct targets. 9, 3, and 10, very respectable KDA. I mean,
he actually commits his gold. He buys the full basher. He does not have buyback. So
I mean, I like a risk taker. That definitely seems like a risk. We'll see if it pays off for Shad. I mean,
hey, maybe he can farm his buyback.
Yeah, exactly. It might be passive enough until he gets the money for both.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a risk. The big brain play from OG would be if they do see that he has that basher and figure that he might not have the gold for buyback. Scan out. They are going to get information regarding No-Tail and Mid-One's whereabouts. Toby's heading in. There's chasing down with the Dust. The Dust does connect onto the two of them. Toby trying to close the gap. He's already used the Blink, but the Tornado clips onto No-Tail. No-Tail, he's going to be left behind, but he actually gets the chance to pop the Overgrown. BKB committed by Toby as he's straight onto No-Tail. The back up there. Greaves Pog, as well as loaded out Shad. He's onto the backlines with a Haunt. He's looking towards Mid-One. Mid-One with the BKB set. He's got the Black Hole control onto Shad. Shad, can they keep him alive with the BKB already out? There wasn't enough damage following up from the Black Hole to kill Shad off. So Shad's still alive. He takes down Mid-One. Mid-One's out for 2 minutes. No buyback. Shad, he heads over towards No-Tail. Thompson jumps back across the smoke. Screens down. They force Shad over to the side, but he's been nullified. He's trying to get out of the tricks of the trade, but he cannot do so. He's slowed down, taken out. Shad's out of the game. So is Celery. It's Thompson in with the cleanup. Triple kill for the Ricky.
Seconds. 90 seconds, no Spectre. Sure, they get the Arc Warden, but you can't forget there's always still a Thompson, this Ricky.
A big cleanups here from Thompson. And as you say, that commitment for the Basher money does mean, he's 100 gold short, still 2 minutes away from bounty, so there's nothing really that they can do to get him this buyback any sooner. So it's going to be a painful minute where only Boom and Aramis are going to be up to try and defend here. And sure, even though Mid-One's out of the game for 70, it's not like OG's lacking push. They still have Seb with his Eidolons. Will manage to clear them out with a Meteor. But between Seb and Thompson, they have enough damage to take these tier 3s by the looks of it. Maybe not the Rex, though. Everybody else, other than Shab, will be up in a few seconds. See what sort of a hold Viking can come in with.
Yeah, just let the Eidolons finish and back away. Toby's respawning. Toby's still a problem. This Slardar leading the charge is still a bit scary. OG gives some respect. Still seeing that mid one can die pretty easy in the fights when they full commit, but every time there's a haunt out, every time Spectre's full committing, that's where Seb just BKB black hole him. And now there's not only going to be just one BKB black hole, he's about to have Refresher finished up. So a second threat from Seb will be there inside of these fights too. If he commits.
Is under attack.
I mean, now, if you're Viking, I mean, are you just waiting for the high ground? Can you continue to afford to go for these moves outside of the base, or are they only going to get more difficult?
Gosh, you might have to contest the Rosh.
Okay.
We're going to find out in a second how long it is to spawn. It's about 1 minute and 15 seconds. Okay, so it's going to be tough, but they may have to make the move to look to fight around there. They still have at least 2 wards on the map, which I think is pretty nice for them, so they still have some information going.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Seb's courier in mid. It just fed. He just was waiting inside the mid creep wave. So okay, so no refresher. You know, he's not gonna be able to bring it out for 3.5 minutes. Doesn't look like he was really committing his gold anyway, but.
Top barracks are under attack.
Illusionist cape for mid one. Look at that. Doesn't want it though.
No, I guess the quiver 2 value. Surround the pit. It's going to be very, very shortly an OG in prime position to take this. Just a question of... Yeah.
How do they... The thing is, like, the lanes are always pushed in, right? Bottom's pushing in, top's pushing in. They have an Arc Ward and Tempest double pushing, so it's so hard for them to contest without OG just knowing it. We see Seb, he TP's back, he buys the Refresher Orb recipe, so he will have it. He will be able to buy it from the side shop if he gets the one. But yeah, it's so tough for Viking to actually just get out of their base. Level 25 Enigma takes the Eidolon talents too, so it's everything about just pushing and forcing those waves in.
Actually going to smoke here, OG. Get in position because they know that Viking's going to start heading over.
They've got
Viking
a ward,
with
they
their own
see it
smoke.
too. OG sees the smoke.
Radiant's middle tower.
Shad
Who's
commits for the
jump
Abyssal.
First. You see on the side, Thompson Yates playing around with Shad. Shad's been held to the side by the smoke screen. Arrow comes in. Toby coming in with the BKB, trying for Saxa, but Saxa's so tanky with that living armor buff. He cannot do anything about the Tusky. Now has to back away. That's the BKB down for Toby. Over to the side, Boom in trouble. He's chased with another fight. The controls there. No-tail with the overgrowth intercept. Jumping over to the black hole. Finds Boom and finds Aramis. Immediate buyback from Boom. They need it as Celery goes down. Toby falls as well. Multiple buybacks coming out from Viking. Shad, he's coming in with the BKB and the Horn, trying to find Mid when he's staying on top of the Arc Warden. Can they get Mid one away? Shad turns over towards No-tail. No-tail still alive. Finally falls, but Shad, he's trying his best to bring them all down, but he cannot do so. He falls. Tornado comes out. Is it enough damage to clip Saxa? It isn't. Saxa will stay alive. If they just didn't have enough there, Viking, to take the fight against OG. Even with the 3 buybacks, they couldn't turn it around. OG able to retreat back over towards the pit, and they'll be able to take this Roshan without any further interference from Viking.
Meanwhile, Thompson's still looking for a fight down bottom. He's level 25.
He's in.
He's on Boom.
On to Boom. There's no save for Boom. Dead for over 100 seconds. As OG cleaning up Roche and cleaning up the base. In fact, they're just gonna leave Roche. They know that these are heroes out without buybacks available. It's time to close it up.
He committed for full
GG's
Abyssal,
call.
and yeah, they call it.
OG, ladies and gentlemen, taking game 1 of this best of 3. And Viking, in regards to the play, they certainly gave it their best shot.